Hey guys, I'm back with a new moon sign installment. I'm gonna be sipping my coffee throughout, so apologize. I just gotta get that energy rolling on this lovely Thursday afternoon. I don't even know what day it is. I quit my day job recently, so I can do this full time, and my days are just open like the wind. Anyways, let me cut to the chase. Okay, so just as a refresher, your moon sign is very important. It's your internal nature, your emotions, who you really are deep down, your natural instinctive responses to things, and sort of what you crave within your soul. So it's very important to know your moon sign, to know about your moon sign, to know other people's moon signs as well, because hey, astrology is great because it's not just all about us. I know everyone's always interested in themselves, but it's really interesting to study other people too, to know more about them and know how to predict their behavior or to explain their behavior. Okay, jumping right along. Today I'm going to be talking about moon in Capricorn, the goats, the real goat people out there. This can be a complex moon, I feel, because the nature of the moon is very nurturing and watery and motherly, and the nature of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, is much more strict and fatherly and warm, but not watery. It's earth. So I feel this can be a difficult moon sign sometimes. Capricorn moon to me is something like, these people always need to be taking steps to benefit themselves, to better themselves, to get to a better point of existence. But if they feel stifled in any way, if they have conflict in their chart, if they have stuff going on, they can be really hard on themselves if they're not getting to a certain point, and they can kind of become like that fatalist mentality of like, oh, well, fuck it, because nothing matters, and I'm just, they have this darkness that they can kind of spiral into if they're not living their best life, or if they're not achieving the things they want to achieve, because naturally they're born ambitious people. And if somehow that light has been smothered out, they can become dark souls. It just can be a difficult, moon placement. The other thing is that a lot of people born within, my generation, within even 20 years or so, maybe a little less than that, are gonna be impacted by the larger planets that were in Capricorn. Like, for example, I was born 1990. Well, it says it on me. Whatever. I was born 1990, and when I was born, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune were all in Capricorn, not to mention Mercury, Venus, whatever. But, so, like, around this time, those big planets were in Capricorn, so a lot of people that have a moon in Capricorn have their moon connected to those large planets. Uranus, Saturn, maybe, probably most likely Neptune, so it definitely complicates their internal world. And makes things more difficult for them overall. But regardless of that, people with Capricorn moon can be very strict within their emotions. They don't give their heart away easily. They can be very reserved. They can be sort of judgmental internally. Like, there's always, and it's not necessarily like this, oh, I'm above everyone or I'm better than everyone, but it's sort of like this, they are watching behavior, they're observing things and sort of taking them in like, okay, this person, I might need to distance myself from them, or, oh, this person wants me to be vulnerable and I don't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna, they can be very like self-censoring, and similar to Virgo moon, but it's almost like to achieve some better level. So people can find them cold or heartless even because they're like, well, they weren't giving into my emotions. But Capricorn moons don't really, as warm, they truly are warm and loving, caring people, but they don't necessarily love just like, giving in to other people's emotions. They can sort of be self-protecting in that way. But there can be very complex people. They could definitely complex, but on the best side of a Capricorn moon, these people are so devoted to something that they are passionate about. They're so like loyal. They're good people, you know, like unless they go on the dark side, but overall, like they're good people that like want the best for themselves and for people they care about. And they're definitely just like, I don't know, they're just strong. They're strong-willed. Even though they can be sort of loners and hard on themselves, they're definitely strong-willed, and they usually persevere in the end at what they want to do. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the zodiac and talk about some combinations and what they might be like. Aries with Capricorn moon people. These people are super, super ambitious. They're a lot more like level-headed and not so like ridiculous as other Aries. Like they're definitely more grounded. They're usually really, really funny, really kind of sarcastic. They're so talented, so great at things, but they can definitely be hard on themselves. They're super competitive, but in a way that's like, if they don't win, they can be very, very discouraged. And they can kind of be like dark souls who like sort of can give into destructive habits. Like I've known a lot of Aries Capricorn people that are like drug addicts, or like Billie Holiday, for example. Like they can kind of mess with themselves. They can kind of be their own worst enemy, especially because it's like a square aspect. Moving on, Taurus with Capricorn moon people. These are such strong-willed individuals. They're usually pretty like keep things close to the chest. They are very stand-up people. They're always going to be there for you. They're very consistent, but they can definitely be a little power hungry and sort of greedy sometimes on their dark side. But they're very earthy, you know, dependable, good people. Gemini with Capricorn moon people. These people are super intelligent. They can be very like bossy and very like badass in a way. Like these people can be kind of intimidating sometimes because they're so freaking smart, and they're also like, they won't put up with bullshit. So whereas like another Gemini might be like sort of dabble in bullshit, and sort of like Capricorn moon Geminis are like, no, I'm not having it, I'm better than that. They can kind of be assholes in that way, but they're really, really smart, really talented people. Cancer with Capricorn moon people, they can be a little conflicted. They've got like the mother of the Cancer and the father of the Capricorn. So they can be like two parents in one person. They're very traditional usually. They really like appreciate family structure. They appreciate doing the right thing. They respect their elders. But they can definitely be moody and depressive, and these are people you definitely want to like make sure that they're nurtured well, because they can be really hard on themselves. Leo with Capricorn moon people are super bossy, super like driven, and just like Napoleon Bonaparte, for example. Like they will do whatever they want to do, and they can get a little carried away with their ego, obviously, and they can definitely be like uncompromising in a way, and but they're very strong people. They're people you want on your team. You want on their side, because they're consistent and they're stubborn, but they're also pretty like forward moving. Okay, Virgo with Capricorn moon people. These people can keep things really close. They're kind of the people that you never feel like you really know them all the way. Like they can be very private. They're super freaking funny, hilarious. Like they can really like just see the funny side of life and see the sarcastic side of life, and but they don't let their emotions out easily, and it kind of can feel like one of those things where you're like, just show me that you feel like, but you know they do. They're just so self-censoring. Libra with Capricorn moon people, these people are awesome. They're really great Libras, I feel like, because they're more down to earth than other Libras, and like they're dependable. That the flakiness of Libra isn't there as much with them when they have a Capricorn moon. They can be super, super ambitious though, and usually their ambition comes out in a social way, so where there can be like social climbers who always get what they want. But overall, they're like, I feel like just a pretty strong individual. Scorpio with Capricorn moon people, wow, talk about power, talk about strength. Like, these people can go through anything. Like, they can deal with anything life offers them and somehow come out on top. Like, they are transformative people. They really can dig into the darkness of themselves, and they can be definitely a little selfish in that way, where you're like, okay, I see you're working on yourself and you're doing your thing, but like, damn, can I like be a part of your life? Like, you know, they can definitely be that kind of person. Sag with Capricorn moon people, these people are so opinionated. Oh my gosh, but they are really progressive in their thinking. They're usually people that like are all about what's happening in society and trying to wake everyone up and be like, no, you need to listen, this is what's happening, we need to change. Like, they definitely use their voice for good, usually, to try to, but they can be a little like dogmatic, like, okay, calm down, we get it, we understand, you're woke, you know, like, they just be a little intense, but they're definitely more grounded Sages. Like, their arrows that they shoot have a purpose, they have a goal, you know. Okay, so where are we at? Capricorn moon people, they're just like the ultimate goats. They can be pretty private, they can be very strong-willed, nobody's really gonna like get the better of them, just super badass goat type people. Aquarius with Capricorn moon people, they can be really interesting people. Like, they're usually, you would think, I mean, okay, first of all, they're very loner type people. They can definitely be lone wolves, like to do things on their own. They're super duper independent, but they're actually like pretty chill, like more chill than you would expect, and they're really like stand-up people. Like, they're gonna be there for you. They really appreciate their friendships. They can see when someone is a good person, and they really appreciate that and latch on to that. The one thing about them is they can kind of be like, you don't know how they're feeling. If they're starting to feel something that they don't like, they might just kind of walk away from it, and you're like, oh, what happened to that person? Oh, I guess they're doing their thing on their own. You know, they definitely deal with their issues on their own. They don't usually like to put them on other people, but other people can want them to open up, like, hey, I want to know what's going on with you, you know. Pisces with Capricorn moon people can be definitely depressive, but they're more ambitious than other Pisces. They are a little conflicted because, like, inside of them is this like taskmaster that's like, you better do the right thing, and, you know, very like kind of on point, and then their Pisces is like, but I just want to dream, and I just want to, like, I don't know. And so they can kind of like stop themselves from dreaming, but also their dreaminess stops themselves from going all the way in their ambitions. So sometimes they just need to figure out how to balance their creative artistic side with their more solid, you know, determined side. I feel like if they were able to balance those two, they could be really amazing people. Pisces with Capricorn moon people, I feel like, should channel their desires for greatness in a way of helping people. That's like, that would be the ultimate for them. Like, that would be the best manifestation of both of these energies for them. Okay, so that's all I have on Capricorn moon. Sorry if I felt like I was kind of rushed. It's just, you know, these have to be under 15 minutes. I'm always like paranoid I'm not gonna say enough in time, but I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.